Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Well, I went to Staten Island Meats. Like I told you, I'm going to keep on talking about them because they're so good. He cut me 3 rib steaks. I said, do you have these? He said, yeah, we cut them to what you want. And I said, ooh la la. Got all excited again. I'll show you. I didn't want real thick and big ones this time. But just look. I'm just going to show you. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? A beautiful cut of meat? It really is. Here's another one. I mean, if you want a hearty breakfast, try these for breakfast. They'll fill you up in a hurry. Coffee, biscuits. Man, you have a man singing at the table. The only thing is they're not as inexpensive as they used to be. I know most people will grill them. I'm going to grill them inside the house. Pan fry them in butter as long as you don't overcook them. And I know most people are going to put salt and pepper on them. I am going to put a spicy rub for beef and pork. You could use this rub for pork or ribs. I mean pork or beef. Let me rinse these off and we'll get them dry. Now people ask, why do you wash and pat it dry? Because they have a blade and they cut a lot of meat on those blades. Have you seen those saws that they use? It's a machine that has the blade come down. They go after one, after another, after another, after another, and it leaves particles on them. And you want a nice clean steak when you're going to cook it and prepare it for your family. And this was something that we were taught in school. My grandmother did it. Even if she, I think if she even sat there and had one and killed one herself, she would still wash it. But I see a lot of people, they just take it out of the package and put it on the grill. I was never taught that. Everything was cleaned. It'd be like breaking lettuce leaves up and not rinsing them, and you could end up with ladybugs, or you could end up with little ants on it and stuff. You rinse your vegetables, you rinse your meat as well. So if you look at it like that, it is the right thing to do. And I remember before we had paper towels, I remember I came from a small town. So maybe up here, up north, they had, we've always had paper towels. We didn't have them down there. My grandmother had a towel. She had a couple of towels that she just wiped her meat with, and then she'd soak it, dry them, wash dry them, and she'd go and use them again. Now, I've already oiled my grill. I'll show you. See, it's already oiled over here. Now, I don't want to burn these or overcook them because they'll have to be warmed up later. So my family goes work, so therefore they need a lunch to pack, and this is what I'm going to fix them for a packed lunch. So let's take this one out right now while I work on these two. So I'm not going to put the regular seasonings on them. But if you want your family to get excited about breakfast, coffee, biscuits, and this, you can give them a fruit cocktail. Believe you me, they will be in the best spirits going to school and work. And I am not kidding. Because a lot of people just think cereal or eggs or something like that, but listen, get creative. Let me do this one here on the ground here, on the counter, I mean. Like I made those apple chicken sausage. That's going to be an excellent hamburger. And I'm going to make rolls, and we're going to have it. It had too much flavor, the sausage, and I said I am going to do something that most people wouldn't think about doing, making hamburgers with them, and that will be a new hamburger. I'm really rubbing and patting the seasoning in on one side while I put them on the grill. I will do the other side the same thing, and I'm going to cook them. And you should have mashed potatoes with them, or if you want biscuits, but I'm thinking of baking potatoes a little later. After I have these on the grill and I get them started, I'll pull some potatoes out. If you can't afford these steaks, cube steaks for breakfast are delicious. Just substitute it for this. And sometimes I have leftover fish fillet. I will sit there and take the fish fillet, if I have enough for everybody, and I will serve that. And I'll make muffins or biscuits. And I have a lot of, as you can see, I have a lot of different biscuit recipes. And give it a twist to be different, and make up a fruit cocktail that I've canned or something, or some canned fruit, and serve it there. And if your family's a coffee drinker, fine, the children milk, and you've got a good breakfast right there. Sometimes when I'm really hungry and I'm coming in, I have luncheon meats. I will sit there and roll cheese and luncheon meat together. Probably you could do one cheese and one meat, and you roll them up, stick a toothpick in them, set them out, and put them with fruit, and believe you me, you have something to eat right away. Very easy to fix, not too difficult. So you can see what I'm doing. So see, you don't have to have cereal and stuff like that. Be different. And if you're cooking and they're waking up, believe you me, the food alone will get them up. If you want your husband up a little early, a nice pot of coffee will get him up. If he loves coffee, it'll be in the air. He'll get up. When you do things like this, your family looks forward to everything you do. They appreciate it. Everybody wants to be appreciated. A man wants to be appreciated, that when he goes out and has to deal with that crazy world out there, that she cares. I guess in a way you could say that you should honor each other. I was one of those wives that, well, I think many men would appreciate a woman getting up in the morning. I used to sneak out of bed early. And he'd be sleeping because he works the evening shift, and then he painted, so he would come in late. And I'm an early bird. This is before I learned to sleep late. And then when he passed, I went back to my old schedule again. And I used to love to go into the kitchen, get the coffee going, and then I would sit there and go get his orange juices. I would put on a big band album that I had bought for him on low, and I'd sneak into the bedroom and jump on the bed and say good morning, and his orange juice is sitting next to the bed. You could smell the coffee going, and he's got some of his favorite music on, and I'm all chirpy, and he is not ready for me. And that's how I greeted him, with a big hug before he even had his bearings or anything. I was already jumping up and down, happy, greeting my day and everything else. And all what he said was, give me a minute. But I used to love to greet him because I was happy. He chose me. Of all the women out there, he chose me. And that made me so happy. Because I personally, and I think any woman who has a good husband will say it, I have the best husband in the world. I could say that. Now I'll show you how they really smell good, and you're not here to smell them. See, cooking it slowly, I'll cook that bone marrow very, very slowly. That's why I don't put it on a high heat. People say sear it at a high heat. Yes, you could. But I'll get the same results doing it my way because I don't want to destroy any of the meat. And this isn't a restaurant where I have to whip everything out quick and in a hurry either, so I can take my sweet time and do it. So while there's going, let me go get some potatoes. I could have yams today, but I've got a yam biscuit I want. I know you said you found another biscuit recipe. Yes, I did. A yam biscuit, and I said, okay. Now, you don't need to have giant baked potatoes when you bake potatoes, because the meal isn't all starch. The meat is your protein that you need. So that should take the top priority. Fruits and vegetables should be second, and your potatoes should be last. Do I follow that rule all the time? No, but it's the rule. Today I will. The potatoes are going to be little. And I'm just scrubbing the potatoes off. I'm not washing them. I have a scrub brush here. It's definitely for my fruits and vegetables if I'm going to scrub them. See, I'm not always sure what I'm going to make. I'll get the meat out and then I'll have to think about what else I want to serve with it when I get up. So I always buy a lot of fruits and vegetables and canned stuff, and then I can decide then what I want. But I know the meat that I'm going to have. I have a chicken, and I know I'll take it out and I won't know what I'm going to do with it. And then as I start to handle it, I start getting impressions. Oh, do this with it. Do that with it, you know. Or you could say my thoughts, and I'll go in that direction. Because when I lay it out, I never follow it. I can't do that. My mother tried to train me. My home economics teacher tried to train me. They said, you already got your meals planned. Why are you changing it? Because I wanted this instead. Sorry. These look so nice. I'm going to turn them over. I'll show you. Aren't those nice? Now, I dried my potatoes. I have to go get some shortening, so I will be back. Okay, I rub my potatoes down literally with shortening. I've been reading up on lard. I got some recipes for making your own lard. And like my grandmother said, the best cake, well, she should say pie crust, really, is made with lard, not shortening, you know. So, hoping I can do it. I'm going to ask my butcher. I'm sure he'll say, yes, I can get it for you. And I'll render it and can it. And the beautiful thing about canning lard, you do have to have a butcher though, okay? You can't buy it in a supermarket. It's just not going to work. And what I like is the canning just consists of putting the lid and the rim on after you clean the rim. And you sit there and because the lard is hot, the jars are hot, you just seal it finger tight. And as it cools, it's going to suck it in and push that air out. So I said, oh, that's a nice way, okay. Because my grandmother used to use lard. She didn't buy it in the store either. She had a butcher she went to, and she had a general store she went to. So she grew her own chickens. She got me a rooster, and we ended up eating him because he cock-a-doodle-dooed, and the neighbors didn't like it. Because the neighbor had been built up by it, so they wanted to get their rest. But of course, Bobby, this is so funny about Bobby. We had these neighbors, right? They moved in. Bobby's father was a hunter. Bobby was high school. His father took him hunting and all. And one morning, there was a deer in our yard eating the garden up. And Bobby saw him when his mother woke him up. And he ran out in his underwear and said, Mom, get me my gun. And he said, Bobby, get in the house and get dressed. No, Mom, get me my gun. There's a deer here. Well, the deer got away because Mama won. He had to go in and get dressed and put his pants on. He woke the whole neighborhood up yelling, Mom, it's a deer. Get me my gun. His Mama said, no. Oh my God. See, these are things that I miss. Here in the city, you don't get any of that. All what you hear is blaring radios, cursing, fights, you know. But I remember those days, and they were funny. That was just about the time my father took an oil drum and he turned it into a barbecue pit. Anyway, let me heat this up. I'm going to slice a hole in the foil and the potatoes. I greased them with shortening. Cut a hole in my potatoes. I don't want them to explode. And when that gets up to 450, I will bake till tender. And that's when I can stick a knife into it on the side where I made the hole inside, and if it's tender, they're done. So let me finish these steaks up. Well, here they are, rib steaks, piping hot as you can see. Take care and enjoy your day.